All right. Here are those other two books that I was not going to show you in the first video of the Eriy books with Romantic Country, because I wanted to showcase those together because they're kind of a series. These two books are also by Eriy, which again are not readily available for sales in the US. So I had to get them off Etsy, which is fine by me, but shipping can be very expensive. So if you want to buy more of Eriy's books, it's always better to buy more than one because a lot of the sellers will combine shipping if you reach out to them. So this first book here, of course, is by Eriy. And I wrote in pencil here the titles that I translated. I didn't translate the whole book, just the covers. And some of what the cover says is a trip to a magical land with fairies, travel to a land with untold wonders while painting. So that's this one. And as you can see, there is a dust cover. Typical Eriy style, you could paint or color the inside book cover with the dust cover to protect it. These are new, so I'm going to squeeze them open here. We'll do a flip through if I can keep you in view. And again, I don't want to make these too long, but the paper in these books, let me see if you can hear that. It is cardstock. It is quality paper. It's got a smoother finish, but there is some tooth to it. I've tested these with colored pencils and gel pens, and I had no issues, no bleed throughs. I didn't test with markers or paints. I will leave that up to you guys, but being as it's cardstock, I'm sure it will hold up. Just always remember to put something behind it so that just in case you get a little too heavy with your wet mediums, it doesn't bleed through and ruin the back. Anyways, typical Eriy style gives a breakdown of every chapter, and you can translate those easy enough with, again, Google Translate. Great little feature with Google. Doesn't cost anything. The whimsical fairy tale depiction of all her pictures and the great Japanese line art. It's not a jet black. It's not a sepia. It's a dark gray, like a charcoal. I'm not sure what they use to print their books, but the ink styles are very different. But the lines, they look a little heavy, but they're not too bad. And I love her storylines. The paper quality can't be beat. I mean, I sure can, but for an adult coloring book and the price, you're getting superb paper. Gretel just spotted me. Here she comes. So we're going to flip through these two books together. I'll try to do it quick for you. I want to make sure that everybody's able to see the images, though. And again, you could fold these open better. I'm just trying not to abuse my books. Nice little Halloween, ghostly 2-page spread there. Quite a few of the Halloween images. She's just out of camera view. Here she comes. Say hi, Gretel. She's such a brat, isn't she? Surprised she didn't sit right on the book. Apologize for her fat little head being in the way. She's getting big. She's a year old now, so I put the Christmas tree up and I didn't put any ornaments on it because she's still a feisty Siamese kitten. Okay, Gretel, you make a better book stop. Got some fairies, some castles. Very much Eriy style. She is not disappointed. Now, for some of you who like less details, but you want the images to make sense, Eriy's books are great for that. Some of her pages are more detailed, but she's not so overly detailed that it makes the page complicated to do. This apple tree looks like a lot of fun. She uses a lot of florals, a lot of botanicals. Her scenes are always great. And when you really get digging, Eriy has a lot of books out. I was really shocked how many. I don't know if I'll ever know exactly how many. Crab's Barbershop. That's funny. An underwater scene with a mermaid and a crab. Very creative. Flatten this out here. With the thicker paper, it gets a little hard to flip through without mushing the book down. You got Egyptian pharaohs, which again kind of goes with the title of the book, Traveling the World While Painting. You hear Gretel in the corner over there tacking a box. Little troublemaker, that one. So for all of us who have cats and kittens, we know what a handful they can be. Looks like maybe a Native American scene here. Or Native Indian, I should say. I'm not even sure because there's tropical flowers. Or tropical leaves. Maybe Islander is the right depiction. Native Islander. You hear her tacking that box? Very Eriy style. And I hope I'm saying her name right. Eriy? Eriy? In the back, there are some cream-colored pages, some postcards, it looks like, that you can, wow, very thick paper. That's got to at least be 110 pound, maybe. Wow. I think there's two here. It's a little thicker, and it's an off-white cream color. So it looks like there's little postcards that you could share with people. And that's kind of fun. So if you have a coloring buddy or somebody that can exchange books with you overseas, it's a great way to share your coloring pictures. And again, the back cover, which is typical Eriy style. It's a nice hard cover that you can color in a craft paper. Looks like a craft cardstock. It's very heavy with a protective dust cover. So there's that book there, which again, if you want to see a picture of it, for those of us who don't speak Japanese, this is that one. I'm going to set this aside and move on to this next one here. Now, this one is, again, I scratched out just quickly what it said on the cover. World Fairy Tales Beyond the Story, Traveling While Painting. So a second part of that first one. And again, the dust cover provided. And the nice craft cardstock cover that you can also color. So let's push that open here. The same very thick paper is in all of her books, or his books. Is it a her? I don't even know. Is that awful? My card that I got, and this has the link to the shop that I purchased these books from. So I will provide that link in the description that you guys can easily purchase these books from if you can't find them on Amazon or your other local sources. So again, we get into the typical Eriy style, which is the fairy tales and traveling, and each scene has its own story, so to say. She does very well with keeping each page cohesive. So here's a breakdown of each chapter that you can, again, easily translate with Google Translator. Let's flip through there. First couple scenes. Now this said traveling the world, so I'm going to have to take that as each scene is going to depict somewhere in the world. It'd be fun to figure that out. Napoleon kitty, maybe. You can hear how thick this paper is. So you won't be sorry when you buy these books. The paper is pretty great. Now, this is one of her more detailed pages, like I said before. Some of her pages are really detailed, some of them not so detailed. So even with all these details, you can see they're not overly done. And it would still be easy enough to color if you're a minimalist. Or you don't like all those heavy lines in there. Added lines just take away from the design. Is this Snow White? The dress kind of looks like a Snow White-ish vibe. Sleeping Beauty, maybe. Or is that Snow White? I don't know. Great, great pictures. And you can see here it's a double page spread. And on this scene, it's not overly detailed like the previous images. But she does great line art. And again, it's in that very different print style of ink. But I like it. I find I don't have a problem covering it up if I need to. I think this is kind of a Snow White vibe here. Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf in the bed. Or is that the three bears? Oh, could be the three bears. Gingerbread house. There you go. Great book. Just another great book by Eriy. Fun pages that I can see coming to life, especially this one. The pond and the lily pad with the flowers. Oh, look at the bird. Very fun. Is that a reindeer? Could just be a deer. I'll go with reindeer. The weather is so cold here. Not crazy cold, but in the 30s and below freezing on some nights. We've had some snow, some hail, some windstorms already. Don't you just love it when the weather people say a high wind warning and then it does nothing but puff air at you? I think they anticipate the worst around here, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. We get some really wicked windstorms here in the Pacific Northwest, too. You'll have giant trees ripped up by the root balls. It's pretty impressive if you've ever been through one here. I like a good storm, though. I'm prepared if my power goes out, so. I just don't like it when the power's out for 2, 3, 4 days and you have to throw everything in your refrigerator and freezer away. That upsets me. I should invest in a generator, but anyways. So with all the winter months for those of us in the not warmer climates, there are several great books out there by Eriy to keep you busy well into spring until the sun shines again and we can go outside and breathe that fresh air. Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh, look, the 3 little pigs. She did stick to the fairy tale storyline as stated in the title. And again, translating Japanese titles to English it's never really what they say, but close enough. Is that Mother Goose? Look. You got the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and Dorothy and the Lion. Wizard of Oz. You hear Gretel meowing at the wall. We're almost done with this. Nice little underwater scene there. Kind of a different take on the astrological signs, I guess. Chinese New Year, Chinese zodiac. Is that what that is? The Buddhist temple? I'm not even sure. You hear her? We're getting to the end here. I think Gretel's getting impatient with me because she's meowing for nothing. Gretel. And again, here we are at the back of the book. We have a few pages of that nice cream colored cardstock, which you can cut out and use as gift tags. The other one had postcards, and there's a couple pages of those. And you can share with other people, put on Christmas presents, birthday cards, or whatever occasion. And the back cover, again, is that heavy cardstock, that craft paper, and a nice dust cover to keep it clean. I will flip this over and show you the image on that one, because sometimes it's easier to look for the image than the title. So, these are both by Eriy. Again, just a couple more books that I've acquired by this artist. I hope you enjoyed these flip throughs. I have a few more to do, and I'm going to try to get to those, not by Eriy, but by other artists. And I hope you enjoy them. And I hope you can get your hands on some of these wonderful books that she has put out, besides just the romantic country ones that we see available readily on Amazon. Best of luck, happy hunting, and don't forget to gift your favorite artist this year.